speed equals life, okay? The health community, that is probably the first equation you ever taught. And as an organization, we always want to be proactive. We want to be free thinkers. What's next? What's the best way for us to service our customers? What's the best way to service our patients and participate in healthcare? And what came to us was the skies. We have to get to the sky. How do we do that? We started looking around. We knew that it would take special people, and at the term special people, what came to us is volunteers. Turnaround time is an inherent problem that you can run into when you have distance and you deal with rare donors. Flights for Life partnering with us allows us to alleviate that and combat some of those turnaround issues that you can have. We want to gain back that time so that we can give every patient the opportunity to be healed, have what they need, and go home as quickly as possible.
So Reeve is one of our 2-year-old twins, and we have a 4-year-old daughter as well. And he was diagnosed with leukemia back in October. So for the past 9 or 10 months, he's been battling leukemia. And so once we learned what leukemia was and what it did to the bone marrow, the very first hospitalization after Reeve was diagnosed, multiple blood transfusions, multiple platelet transfusions. One of the things with chemotherapy and the blood products is we can definitely tell when his blood counts get low. One time we went to the hospital and he was just a bruise from top to bottom all over his head, his legs everywhere, just extreme fatigue, laying around, napping all the time. And for a 2-year-old little boy especially, that is not normal. So once Reeve gets his blood transfusion or platelets transfusion, whatever he receives, he's a new kid. I mean, instantly within hours, he perks up, he gets color back, and you can tell he just feels so much better after he gets that life-saving blood to bring those counts back up.
Reeve was in the ICU back in May for about 20 days. And at the time, his platelet count had completely dropped to 0. So he was very sick, had a 0 platelet count, and he had developed an antibody against a specific type of platelets that we didn't know at the time, but he would receive a platelet transfusion and his body just would reject it.
In our world, the key that unlocks what ails another can be very general. It can also be very specific. And to find that key, we have to span our complete fingerprint to find the right component to match the right patient. In Reeve's case, it was very, very, very specific.
They did do a search. We hit our knees and started praying because we needed a match. They had to have specific things for those platelets to be able to work for Reeve because of everything that his body was rejecting at that time. We were in ICU with him, which is a stressful place to be with a 2-year-old anyways. And so we were just praying for this match. Please let there be a match for Reeve out there, because we knew it was a matter of life or death.
So what they had to do was send a driver to Oklahoma City where they found a donor who matched the type of platelets that Reeve needed. And so that driver would drive to Oklahoma City, 4 hours there, and then take him 4 hours to get back. As a father and as a mother, whenever your child is sick, it doesn't matter if your child has cancer or if your child maybe has the flu, it always hits you very deep. And so we spent a lot of time praying and asking God for wisdom and believing that He would open up doors. And He did. Fortunately, there was a donor in Oklahoma City who was a match for Reeve.
Once we got the answer, we could have had the opportunity to move that product a lot faster. That's what a volunteer pilot can really bring to our organization, what they can really bring to this community.
Well, I got asked to fly the inaugural flight for Flight for Life for the Coffee Memorial Blood Center and the Oklahoma Blood Institute on July 4th. I couldn't imagine being a parent of a couple daughters having to wait for blood products or platelets or something like that for my kid and know that someone's driving them here, and it might be 4, 5, 6, 8 hours, or it might be tomorrow before they could actually receive those blood products, and hoping my kid makes it through the night.
The feeling I got when Dean Sather and Amarillo said yes without question, it opened my eyes to the possibility of how great this program could be. A program is only as good as its grassroots. Dean and others like him would represent our grassroots, and it started with one, and he was the one. If you're a pilot and you want to get involved in your community, you want to support patients like Reeve, then sign up for Flights for Life. Contact us and we'll do everything we can to get you rolling and get you in the air with purpose.